Carte Dion, everybody seize the day. Hi there, Alex here from Lights Camera Debate, and I'm sorry if I sound a bit croaky and not great. I've had a really bad stinky cold for the last week, and that's why I haven't been here doing these great videos, and hope you've been watching the old ones. So let's talk about Dead Poets Society, a great film that deserved more notoriety than it got. Came out in the early 90s, 92 I think came out, and at the time it was up against Driving Miss Daisy with Morgan Freeman in that, and My Left Foot with absolute brilliant films. It didn't have a chance, unfortunately. And as we know, it took to Good Will Hunting with Robin Williams to get an Oscar. He was up for Oscar, but I want to keep saying Cecil DeMille, but it's not. It's his son who's in lots of things. I can't remember his name, so it will come back to me in a minute. So I don't. I do not want to. Tell me off. I'll say it again. The main point of this film, let's get into it, is that we have a load of school children who are basically going to their secondary school. It's a prep school. It's set in the early, I'm going to say 1950s, but it's a very private education school. It's meant to be like Harvard or Yale or Connecticut, and they're all sent there as private school kids. They've never experienced life before, and you've got all these kids who live in the same dorm, and they haven't experienced life. They haven't had relationships. They haven't been kissed, and they haven't experienced poetry. And they go through the school, and there's a typical headmaster who doesn't want to change anything, enjoys the way the world is. Parents paying money. It's all very lovely, la da da, basically. And around this, you have this very hip, which is probably about of line for the time period, so it's quite interesting. And you have a very hip teacher called Robin Williams who loves slashing books out, because how can I totally agree with this theory. How can you measure poetry by a metric chart? And there's this article in the book that all given where it's a metric chart, and you can work out if Lord Byron's poetry is good by A equals B or something like that. And you get them to rip the page out, and get them to sit on their desk, and it's very hip the way it is. And it's a great performance by Robin Williams, and Ethan Hawke's great in this. We sort of come to the climax of the year. The prep school boy, I can't remember his name, wants to be an actor. His parents are lawyers and doctors, and their conformity of the time period. And they say, no, you can't be an actor. And he does a really good performance of Midsummer Night's Dream. And he plays Oberon the Fairy and gets dressed and leaves. It's very Stanislavski, the way it's directed, and it's very meta. And by the end of that, he thinks, I'm going to be an actor. I'm not going to be this lawyer boy. And he's got all that compassion and happiness and hope because of, the Robin Williams character has made him think he can act, and made in his own mold. Like, he has the whole lots of children in the school. He's basically taught them to enjoy poetry and act and the way it is. And it's a great film. It's got good music as well. And Robin Williams and Ethan Hawke's performance are excellent. So, spoiler, unfortunately, it does have quite a sad ending. One of the kids does kill himself. And this is based on a book. And according to people in my film groups, I did this for a film group recently, it doesn't, it ends pretty similar in the book. Unfortunately, the kid goes back to his dad, who watches him at the back of the theatre and thinks, oh, my dad's going to go, yeah, you're great, but of course he should be an actor. And he doesn't. He basically, takes him home, and the mother's very submissive, and she doesn't do anything about it. And he reads them the riot act and goes, no, you're never going to be an actor. That was foolish. You'll be in the company. And because he wants to be what he wants and can't cope with the fragile, being a young youth. When you are that sort of age, you're very fragile. Everything means more than it is. Goes into his dad's study and shoots himself. And then you have the whole ending at the end of the film where the headmaster basically thinks, so we've got a scapegoat. I can take the Robin Williams character and put the whole school back to how it was, and we can make the character, I can't remember his name, who shoots himself, into the character who was a hero. And it's all, I think it's called Keaton, the Robin Williams character. We can make him all into, and it's just come back to me, it's Daniel Day-Lewis I was trying to think of. We can make Cecil, again, I'm really apologising about if I you have to tell me off by the comments. Well, he basically becomes the scapegoat of the film. Basically, they make out, it was all Keating's fault that the guy killed himself, not the fact that his parents were absolutely abysmal to him and didn't give him the encouragement he needed, Keating did, and gave him the encouragement to become an actor. So we have that great scene at the end where they all stand on their desks, and Keating understands that they're all in his favour, and the headmaster has no chance. And it sort of finishes there. You don't really have a successful ending with this film. And as I said, it was up against a year when we had quite interesting films. We had, as I said, we had Driving Miss Daisy, which won Best Film at the Oscar in '92. I think this film came out, and we had My Left Foot, which is an absolute phenomenal performance. I must watch it again for this video of Daniel Day-Lewis. He doesn't do many films. When he does, they are amazing. My Left Foot, and he won Best Actor for that. Unfortunately, Robin Williams had to wait. I think it's another, I'm going to say Good Will Hunting, and put it in the comments, please. I read all comments and reply. And of course, I haven't mentioned yet, we're on 33 still, and I want to be on 40 to 50 by May. So please, if you're not already subscribed to the YouTube channel. Lots of things coming now. I'm feeling a lot better. There's still a video to come on the Magic Faraway Tree, which I shall do in a bit once I've done this one. And I'm going to go and see films soon. There's lots coming out. There's not many arty things. You've got to recommend me stuff. It might be a bit off the more beaten track, because there's a lot of Marvel and things from my childhood coming out as films, which are probably terrible. I'm going to go and see them because they remind me of happier days in my childhood, like He-Man. And I'm going to go and see He-Man. I'm going to go see Mortal Kombat 2, and I will be seeing Street Fighter later this year. But there's also lots of other films I'm going to go and see. So if there's anything you think I should be watching or listening to, then let me know. Anyway, so Dead Poets Society, really good film. Good acting from Ethan Hawke and from Robin Williams. They're acting their socks off in this. And Ethan Hawke, of course, went on to do lots more things. He's doing things at the moment. He's in lots of films. Just chat GPM, you'll find a list. And Robin Williams, unfortunately, died because he was bipolar and couldn't cope with it. But he had lots of good films. There's lots of a back catalog you can go back to and go, oh, that's really good performance. Like we've already done here, Good Morning Vietnam, and Jumanji is great. Aladdin's great. Well, I think his best performance is definitely in Good Will Hunting, which of course he won the Oscar for, which is a fabulous performance. I'm trying to think of something recently I went and watched through Ethan Hawke, because he does still do quite arty things, and it will probably come back to me. I think, what was he in? He's in a fabulous film. Yeah, I haven't seen it because it had no audio description, unfortunately, only at the cinema, and the projectionist went wrong at the Picture House Exeter. And that's the film called Blue Moon, which it looked very good and was up for Oscars. So he's still doing really interesting films, Ethan Hawke. So next thing to do is Magic Faraway Tree. I'm so sorry I've sort of disappeared this week. Well, I basically went to bed for the week because I got this joyous bug and cold. So I'm feeling a bit better for. I wanted to put one up now. I went to see the BFG in Chichester Theatre, which was absolutely amazing, and caught these bugs, unfortunately. I was in the front row, got to meet Luke, who plays the very funny captain who are the military of the Queen. It was very funny. But first bit, I got covered in Snoz Cumber juice. I know, very funny, because they blood bottle bites into it and the whole front row get covered. I was in the front row. So anyway, film wise, this film is excellent. It's on Disney Plus with audio description, because you need to see the visual element of this, I personally think, and that's why the AD's there, to get around that problem, so you can still watch a film normally with visuals. The visuals are really important. And yeah, so it's a great film. I think I gave it, when we were on the review thing, what I do, 4 Captain, because that's what you call him. You call the Robin Williams captain, my captain is my captain, from the Robert Frost poem, which gets them into a lot of trouble eventually. So yeah, go and watch it. It's enjoyable, and it's film definitely of its time. It has a lot of issues on that sense. I think there's a boiling under homoeroticus in it, but it's not in your face. It's not like things would be now if it was done now. And it's a really interesting argument. Do we remake it, with somebody comedian-wise would be the new Robin Williams now, like Seth Ackland or Jack Black? Do we remake it, or do we just leave it in the past? I think things shouldn't be remade. I think when you've got such a classic as this film is, it's be left where it is. But you might disagree. You might think, yeah, we should have a new version. People young to see it. Well, let me know in the comments, and please subscribe. So next time, Magic Faraway Tree. So for the moment, folks, that's all.